Today we're going to get personal and talk about your age. Hello, this is Enzo Mucci and welcome to the 4th episode of the Race Driver Coach Show. We are going to get personal. This topic that we're going to talk about today was all brought to us by 2 questions from 2 drivers over the last 2 days. Here they are. The first one came in from Tom via Facebook saying, I feel under pressure because of my age. Things are not happening quick enough. Is there an age limit on race driving? And the second one came in from Instagram from Kyle saying, am I too old to get into racing again? First off, I want to thank Tom and Kyle for these questions because they are good ones. But at the same time, they're complete bullshit. Over and over again, I'm hearing drivers use age as their hurdle, as their excuse. Not on purpose, but they actually believe it is something that is holding them back or giving them some kind of pressure, or it's putting up walls towards what they want to get at. Guys, listen to me now. Age has nothing to do with you being a race driver, or at least going racing. Remember what this is. It's motor sport. No human mentioned. There's obviously a human involved because humans have got to run the thing and they've got to pedal the car or the bike, whatever it is you're racing. Fine. But really, the age of that pedaler, it's not that important. I know many 60-year-olds, drivers in their 60s, right, that are faster than most or a lot of the 17-year-olds that are out there, the whippersnappers in all the single-seaters. It's nothing to do with age. They've got experience, the older ones, the ones that have been on this rock longer. Let's not say older, younger, but basically, age is just it's a way of you saying how long you've been here for. That's it. Okay, the body might start to get slower and your memory probably doesn't work as good when you really get down the road, when you've been here a long time, because you've got more things to remember. But really, when you're talking about motorsport, it hasn't got a lot to do with it. I'm getting so many 20-odd-year-olds or even high teens worrying about their age, and it's stopping them from giving everything they have. They don't use it as a pressure like, oh, I must get on with this. Instead, it's defeating them. It's making them second think. It's hurting their belief, their confidence, because they're thinking, oh no, I'm going to get turned down because of my age. That's when it's a problem. That's when I want to get you by the throat and say, look, it's got nothing to do with your age. There's 2 things, right? 2 things you've got to learn or remember about motorsport, right? 2 values as a driver. Number 1, speed. If you're fast, if you can beat other competitors on the track, you've got value. Somebody is going to want you. It could be a sponsor, it could be a race team, it could be a manufacturer, whoever, a driver program, whoever needs a driver that can win, that is fast, you're the person. So you need speed. Secondly, number 2, the second thing you need if you're going to be a race driver is the ability to bring value to others, to the people that can give you an opportunity. So you can communicate the value, the marketing value, the networking value of motorsport to companies and match companies that need that. They need that benefit. They've got a new product, so they need that marketing, or they need the market research, or to gather a database of people that might be their customers. That's you creating value. Or you create value to race teams. But you've got to know how to do that. So you need speed and you need to be able to create value. That's it. Age does not come into this factor at all. Okay, if you're really young and too young to get a license, or I just said young, didn't I? Or if you've been on this planet too long and now you're not allowed the license because of fitness reasons, that's fair enough. But that's the only extremes really, either side. In the middle, whether you're in your teens, high teens, whether you're 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, it doesn't really matter. That's not important. If you're still quick and you know how to bring value, that's all you need. So I don't want to hear, am I too young? I'm now running out of time to be an F1 driver or a touring car driver. I don't know. But does it matter? Because when you ask a question like that, it means two things. The truth is, and I mean this now, you've got to think about this and look at yourself and say, is this true about me? But really, everything's about twos in this video, by the way, I just realized. But the first thing is, are you really focusing on things that are in your control? Or are you letting something that's out of your control, like the age that you are, how long you've been here for, influence you? And if you're doing this about age, what else are you doing it about? What other things outside of your influence are you allowing to affect your work ethic and your self-belief and the way you apply yourself? Is it just age? Or are you also the type of person that may be bitching about other drivers that are so lucky and they're getting this and they're getting that, and you're letting that beat you down? This is important now. If you want to succeed, all you can do, no matter what you want to do in life, all you can focus on is you. Is your little bit. It doesn't matter what age you are, does it? That's the starting point. And we'll go into that in a while. But the second thing, so the first thing is, by allowing your age to be some kind of hurdle, you are focusing on things out of your control. No need. Get rid. Not important at all. Number two, I think you're coming from a point where you're saying, I haven't achieved what I thought I would have up to now. I haven't met the standard, the level that I thought I would be by the time I'm this age. And that's what's pissing you off. You haven't done what you thought you'd do by the time you're at this point. Now we're talking about it. This is the kind of stuff that is really getting to you. It's not that, oh, I need to be this age, I need to be on this planet for this long, and then I can get into F1 or whatever it is. But if I get past that, it's done. Because there is no rule like that. That's just in the head. There is no rule that exists that says that, really. Unless it's very far down the road. But it's just that your things are not moving or happening quick enough for you. That's the real thing, isn't it? Let's get to the truth here. What are you seriously worried about? Enzo, I'm worried about, it's just not happening. It's just not working for me. I've tried this and I feel like I'm getting older now and it's not working. What can I do? I'm going to give up. Don't you dare. Don't give up. Remember, if you're focusing on things that are out of your control, like how long you've been on this planet, and you're not where you were, where you think you should be at this moment, then we need to refresh. We need to reset. We need to sit down and take a look at the situation. That's all it is. It's like, okay, what am I going to do about this? We've got to get your mind back onto the actual solution here. And the solution will only come if you get your mind back on the game. If you start to think in a way and focus on the things that are in your control. You're in a certain situation at this moment, whether it's been self-created or it doesn't matter. You're in a certain situation and you've got a certain destination you want to get to. What the hell are you going to do about it? No bitching about what other drivers are doing. No focusing on your age. What are you going to do about it? So what if you're 40 years old and you want to become the next touring car champion? So what if you've never driven before? If that's the starting point, then that's the starting point. So be it. How the hell are we going to do it though? This is more important. Don't let these little things get in your way, like, oh, I think I'm too old, and stop it. What's your starting point? The starting point is today. And what's the end point? Where do you want to get to? What's the big goal? The North Star, which was spoken about before. Fine, clear. Now, how the hell are you going to do it? That's it. If you start every single day with that question, you know where you are. You look at, again, at where you want to be, what it means to you, why it means that much to you, get fueled up. What we're going to do? What we're going to do today to take us a step closer. It's quite simple, isn't it? You don't need to think about your imperfections. You don't need to think about you're not this pure age that you need to be, because it's a selling point, which it really isn't. To be honest, if I had a race team and a 17-year-old came to me, it was really quick, had the same amount of money or whatever, it was really quick, and wanted to get in the car, and it's like, yeah, I think I should be a race driver, and I've done good in karting and stuff, great. And then a 30-year-old came to me with a better proven record and somebody who could actually generate business because they understand life a bit more now. I'm going to choose the 30-year-old. Depending on what formula we're in, I'm going to choose the 30-year-old because they can help the business. They can probably drive faster than this 70-year-old. They're going to make less mistakes. Again, let's not go down that age route. And I'm talking to everybody here that wants to achieve something in life but is letting their age hold them back, whether they think they're too old or too young. Now I'm guessing, well, I know actually, the two people that did send me these questions, they're not old. They're really not. They've got so much ahead of them. So much. They're like 20 years behind me. And even if I wanted to start, right, I'm 40 years old now, if I wanted to say now, I'm going to be a race driver, and I'm going to make sure I'm a professional one by the time I'm 46, that's the goal. Nobody would say, shut up. I certainly wouldn't say, get realistic and come on, you're too old for that. No. What I've got to do is find out how to get the cash, which nowadays we know. We know how to sell sponsorship, right? And maybe get a bit quicker, and that's it. I'm there. And I talk to the right people. I get myself, who knows where I'm going to go. I'm going to get the situations. I'm going to win races. Things happen. I know that some GT team would want me because I'm bringing so much value. I can do this. And I'm way down the road compared to the two people that wrote this question to me and to most people that are starting to worry about their age. We've got to set the game up now. Set the game up. Remember this because I'm going off. We've got to come back to where you are now, what you want to succeed at, where you want to get, and let's just take action on doing that. Not spend time on the silly things like I think I'm too old because I'll stand out. It's not the norm. Remember, if you're not the norm, that's a selling point. If you're older than most of the drivers, that means you stand out. Great. There's always an opportunity when you stand out and you're not one of the crowd. It's great. Who cares if you're a few years on? Now you're wiser. And you've got to remember that we all mature at different levels, right? I'm a slow mature, I'd say. Just in life in general and getting my head around things at school. I was always way behind. But I got there eventually. And I made sure that when I did get it, I made the most of it. So we're all different. So we can't say I should be at this part of my life right at this moment because so-and-so is at my age. In fact, they're younger than me and they're further ahead. Doesn't matter. They had a different starting point. They knew different people. They got lucky maybe. They won a certain race because somebody came off and that race was a big one that got them a scholarship and then the rest is history. They're in a different situation. Again, don't waste your time thinking about other people. This is you. How are you going to make today work? Forget about the whole grand scheme of how long you've been on the planet. What about now? What about today? What are you going to do today? That's more important. Today has no age. Today is just set up with the current system and the current place that you are right now. That's all it cares about. That's already past now when I just explained it. Now is a new second. What am I going to do to go forwards? Not have my vision or my mental vision going side to side thinking, oh, there's so many things wrong with this situation. Doesn't matter. Starting point, where you need to be. It's all we care about. And thinking about what I said about in your 40s. If you're in your 40s and you want to become a successful race driver, I want to introduce you to Dave Newsham. You've probably heard of him, especially if you're in the UK, you've heard of him. Now, this is a chap, right, who didn't do his first full season of car racing until he was 42 years old. He did the Clio Cup in England. I know that championship. I did that. I know how difficult it is. I think I only got P6 or something. I did half a season, but I got P6. This dude, right, 42 years old, hadn't raced really much before, just did a bit of winter series and stuff like that. Came in, and that was only the year before he did the winter series, by the way. He was new to racing. Been doing business all his life, right? Came in, and in the second year, he won the Clio Cup. So he's 43 now. Then at 44 years old, he had the bright idea of jumping straight up into the British Touring Car Championship. So now, he's 44, only in really his third full season it's going to be of racing. And he's jumping into one of the hardest categories on the British Isles. Loads of cars, manufacturers, drivers that have been doing the championship for bloody 20 years, so they're fast. They know all the circuits, they know all the tricks. And he's taking them on at that age. 44. But get this, he won 2 races in his second year. So he's now 45 in touring cars, and he's won 2 races. I think he got pole position for the first race of the year, and he would have won that, but he had a bit of a coming together with Jason Plato. But this man took it upon himself to say, I'm not too old, let's give this a crack. And he threw himself into it fully. Maximum respect. And now you're worrying about your age because you're maybe in your 20s and you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm too old, or is age a bad thing? Shall I give up? Stop it. Seriously, this driver started when he was around 42 years old, and in his second year of British touring cars, he had more race wins than the chap who finished P4 that year in the championship. Look at him. Look at people like him that come along. If you want to focus on things that are not in your control and things about other people, focus on the people that are proving that what you're worrying about is absolute rubbish and it's a waste of time. There's plenty of them out there. It's easy to look at the whippersnapper that went straight through the system to F1 and say, oh, they did it. Now they've raised the bar. That's what's expected of me. No. Look at the people that didn't do it that way. People that are in a worse situation than you and still made it. If you want to look at other people, that is. Really, you're the most important though. You've got something to sell that others haven't. You've got to find it. You've got to communicate it. Find your niche just like any company does. Your area in the market. What makes you different to other drivers? What can you offer? How can you communicate motorsport as a branding tool, or sport in general? You might have to find sponsorship for other sports that then pays for your racing. A whole different subject. All you've got to care about at the end of the day is the stuff that matters. And age, how long you've been on this planet, has no relevance to your success. So guys, everybody out there that's using age as their bloody excuse, quit it. Stop it. Stop focusing on the things that you can no longer control. Reset. Look at your current situation. Come out of yourself, right? You look at this person, which is you down there, and you say, this person with these skills, with these contacts, with this speed, has got to achieve that goal. How the hell can we do it? That's all should be in your mind. That's all you care about. If you do this, if you stick to this simple focus of you and how you can move forward, just one tiny step today, and then go in tomorrow and do the same again tomorrow, then I know you'll achieve what you need to achieve. Remember this. Age has no part in this. It's all about you and what you're going to do. And I'll see you next time.